Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the early access for the new content drop Q2 2022 here on rFactor 2. We got delighting news. We have been teased by rFactor 2 all the way in the last couple of days with the new content, with the new updates, with everything that comes towards rFactor 2 right now. And today I'm very, very happy and very, very proud indeed to be able to give you an early pre-access, well, at least a access to footage, to content, to streaming, to racing, the new British touring car championship cars, the Toyota Corolla and the Infiniti Q50, I believe, are being added to the rFactor 2 content. But there is more to be added to this rFactor 2 simulation. And before we get going with the streaming as such, we're going to have a look first of what this will be all about, as we are heading into a little bit of a dire show here. So despite this is about the BTCC mainly, it's not only the BTCC content that's been coming to rFactor 2, it's also this very iconic racetrack from America is Laguna Seca. And obviously the track's laser scanned and will be interesting to be driven. We will find out how that will be later during the weekend, because first of all, we're going to focus on those British and I'm just starting all over again, because here we go with the Dia show. In the meanwhile, I got it fixed. Sorry for that taking so long. So Laguna Seca, the race track in the US, obviously laser scanned with a terrifying corkscrew and all its ups and downs that this track will feature. Some anti-cuts, a lot of gravel traps. Will be interesting to see how racing will be on it. As I already mentioned, I'm going to find out over the weekend together with you, potentially. But for the moment, we focus about this track and another track that's coming later on, Donington Park. So Donington is one of the most iconic tracks beside Brands Hatch around in the UK. And I am really looking forward to race this track because it's so super technical. It's going up and down, got chicanes, got crests, got hills, got everything. It maybe lacks a little bit of a straight, but it is an extremely nice circuit for touring car racing. So is Brands Hatch, the other track that has been added to the rFactor 2 simulation this upcoming Monday, the content drop Q2 2022. And yeah, we're going to find out about Donington and about Brands Hatch today. I gotta admit, Brands Hatch, I'm not the biggest fan of the track as such, but it's amazing to have it here in the simulation. And those are the cars. This is the Infiniti Q50 that has been added to the roster. It is a rear-wheel drive car, and that is the Toyota Corolla, which will be a front-wheel drive car. And we're gonna drive the Toyota Corolla first, before then heading into the Infiniti. And well, we're gonna see how this pans out, as obviously those British touring cars, they are a different kind of caliber than what I usually race when it comes to prototypes, when it comes to Formula Pro car, high downforce, high performance, high power. So this will be something entirely different, and we're gonna find out about that pretty soon. But this is not the only thing that's coming to rFactor 2. There is even more coming to rFactor 2, which will be particularly interesting for everyone, because as far as I understand this is not only an update for those cars right now. Obviously, the new cars will feature that additional features of the simulation as well, but we're also going to enjoy these features on other cars in the futures, and together we're going to have a look on what it is all about. So you guys have just seen the official clip that has been played on the rFactor 2 YouTube channel as well already. So a ton of new features that come into the game that are both visual and audio wise, and also from the like user experience. Like, it's pretty cool to finally be able to set brake ducts not only for the front but also for the rear. So that means you can start balancing brake temperatures and all that stuff. We're gonna have a little bit more detailed look on those topics on a video that comes out on Sunday. I still need to do the video, but I plan to do it in time so it goes up on Sunday for you guys. Because today we are here about racing, we're here about driving. We want to see how that BTCC car is driving, and as mentioned, we're gonna start off with the Corolla Toyota, which is the front-wheel driven car. And just for you, I have also turned on the driving line orientation, which I think is a very great feature when it comes to new players and generally speaking new sim racers that are trying to learn tracks. And I think that's what we're going to find out. It's very interesting that this driving line is also happened to be in the pit lane, indicating whether you should brake or whether you should throttle the car. So we're gonna see how that is updated and how it is getting us around the circuit. As I want to slightly adjust my seat. The rear mirror is already in my view. A late apex turn here. So Brands Hatch comes with a 2-track layout, obviously. So the Brands Hatch Grand Prix and the Brands Hatch Indy, the two versions or the two layouts that are available in real life as well. I obviously decided to go for the GP track because it's just more long. Well, it's longer and it's more challenging. Oof. Oh la la. Ah, did you hear the beeps? The upshift protection. So, already spun, very nice. Suddenly driving a front-wheel driven car is quite some difference for me. Got to admit that. The track, of course, laser scanned, a full 3D laser scanned version of Brands Hatch, that is. And the guys have just put in all the details around the track, the buildings, the posts, the landscapes, the crowds, obviously the barriers, all the curb details and everything. Ooh, as the rear end wants to go around here. I think you need to deal and work with that on-throttle rotation of that car. That's how you're going to make the rotation, I'm afraid. Copy, Piotr. I need the line to learn Donington, to learn Brands Hatch. Actually, for Donington Park, because I have fairly... I don't know if I ever raced Donington Park that much, really. Maybe we're gonna need it there. Perhaps. But we'll find out. At first we're gonna do a little bit of a laps here, and then we're obviously gonna have a look into the setup options this Corolla car will give us. As we're coming towards the back end, blind over the crest here. It's a very nasty corner, I think. So Brands Hatch is just as technical as Donington is. One gotta say. So it will be interesting to see. I think if GT Pro will be a thing this year, or is going to be a thing this year, if that happens, I think there is a good chance that we see Brands Hatch on it, and probably Donington as well. As Donington we're already going to see in the Formula Pro Series. Anyway, this content drop obviously also means there is new stuff to be bought from the rFactor 2 Steam workshop. Each car will be $4.99, solely, and each track will be $8.99 solely, but there's going to be a BTCC package, which contains both the Donington track and the Brands Hatch track, as well as both cars, and will be called, I think, the BTCC bundle, if I'm not mistaken, and that will be $24.99, which will be roughly 10% off compared to when you would buy those components solely from each other. And then there is an overall Q2 content drop bundle, which obviously also includes Laguna Seca. That will be €31.99 to be gotten in the workshop on Monday. Juan, you are hating those Apex arrows. It's interesting. I think yes, it is some new stuff, and it looks obviously, well, you have to get used to it a little bit. But I think for drivers that are trying to learn the track, it's a good orientation of where stuff goes along. But I will turn them off soon as well, because otherwise people think I need them. Just not the case. We will improve further still. Piotr, you say latest news and latest updates for the sim give additional happiness. Well, that's completely up to you. On a personal note, I'm not the biggest fan of Brands Hatch. I appreciate the content being here, as it will make rFactor 2 better as a sim, as it contains more stuff now. But to be all honest with you, I'm not in the biggest favor of the track as such. I know, whoops, people gonna be disagree with me, that's fine. What we can all agree though is I think that we can remove those arrows. So we will come down to pit road, and I think the arrows will switch to pit road once the game detects that we're going to go to pit entry, which should be now. Unlucky, it took a little longer, but here are those arrows, which has at least given you a little bit of orientation. So anyway, to turn this option on or off in the settings is you go to the settings menu, difficulty, driving line, simply put it off, and that's actually it. So we're also going to have a look what this car is able to do on the setup. So first of all, we have a new range maker, or a new a way to display a gearbox, not gearbox. What was I saying? Anyway, we're coming to engine mixtures, and I think engine mixtures, there is a push to pass on this car, as it is the 2022 regulation. Sorry about that. So I am not sure if 5 or 6 is the maximum. Let me see. Yeah, so engine mixture is limited to 6. So 6 is maximum power. 7 will be the push to pass mode, which only can get activated if you use the push to pass. Radiator tape, you can at least, you can quite set some radiator tapes. Interesting. We're gonna put 8 and see what happens. Fuel, the car can carry roughly 70, I guess, 80 liters of fuel with it. I'm not gonna put it, just gonna go with 40. And interestingly, or rather not interestingly, so the first 3 gears seem fixed, but you can adjust 4, 5, and 6, which is great. That is, for a GT car, very interesting. Usually I don't think many GT cars have the possibility to adjust the gears. Furthermore, you got power diff settings, at least 4 presets, which is fine. Coast and preload, Torque split, obviously nothing you can do on a front wheel drive car. Compounds, tire compounds. You can select between the soft, the medium, and the hard. Of course, there's another a wet tire as well. And I do believe that guess these are the new tire models. Can we see? Yeah, Goodyear. So I think those are the new tire models that are also to be found on the rFactor 2 Formula Pro car. So that is interesting stuff indeed, as obviously people are kind of waiting for other cars to also get these new tire models, but we will see how and when and if and so on. On the suspension side, so we went down with the tires, minimum tire pressure, like nothing unusual. For the brake bias, as it is a front wheel driven car and it got all the way on the front, I think it is still quite easy to lock up the front. So I'm gonna put the brake bias a bit further to the back at this stage, and then we're gonna have a look about the suspension. This is quite classic this time. Front is softer than the rear because you somehow need to get that rotation in 100%, and in that regard I don't think that you will use the softest rear anti-roll bar in this case. We're gonna quite leave it on where it was because it didn't feel too bad. Actually on the front though, I go a bit softer just to allow a little bit more rotation in, and then I'm going to put some rake on the car, right side, front row lower than rear. On the aerodynamic, on the chassis, you can only increase the caster even further, and the wheel range lock. It's obviously adjustable. Regarding the aerodynamics on the wing, you got 5 different wing sets. I'm not sure whether they will do big impact on everything. We're just gonna try and see. It's the first time I drive this car too, so really just got that content that morning. No, Nicolini, I have not yet flipped on a sausage. And yes, I dislike the Corolla already because it's right-hand drive, right? So that is not really my favorite right-hand drive cars. Anyway, as I'm a German pleb, I want to have left-hand drive. Yes, Ivan, on the game settings. Oh, did I turn on them wipers or? Must have turned on themselves. Oh no. Do I see drizzle? I think I see drizzle. So they have not just turned on themselves. It's actually starting to rain, and that means we quickly need to set a lap time, because as we have seen on the trailer, there is additions and adaptations on the new on the wet weather patches, and I'm afraid we're going to find out this on the hard way. So 133.7 on the bottom right, you can see right now weather dry and the track is still dry. That should soon change. At least the weather should say, I think something like rain or drizzle. There you go, drizzle. And at some point the track isn't dry anymore, but it says damp. And then it doesn't take long till the wet tire. Ooh, as I'm spinning around again. Yeah, I told you I'm not the biggest fan of this track. And then the wet tire will quickly become a necessity on the car. But we're going to find out how long this goes. This is all part of the new features on rFactor 2, as you know, especially with the old tire model. You could drive these cars quite long on the dry tire still. Guys, a quick question towards stream quality. Is both streams going to be alright? No stutters or anything, I hope. So the drizzle's getting heavier on the windscreen now, getting proper drops on it. should still be good enough to set some dry tire laps. Thank you, Steven. Appreciate the feedback. And we're gonna have the same later on for the Infiniti, the rear-wheel drive car. I need to be very patient there with throttle application, as any throttle application quickly makes the rear, the front understeer. Because surprise, surprise, it's a front-wheel driven car. So time for some wipers. I gotta say, it is amazing sound of the car. So, and on Wednesday you guys are going to be able to join us, as we're planning to do a community party. Already note that down into your calendar. On Wednesday next week, 8 PM or 7:30 PM, I need to see either of those two. We're going to do 3 races in the BTCC car, so both the Corolla and the Infiniti. And we're gonna race around Brands Hatch, around Donington Park and Laguna Seca. All races will be 30-minute practice, 5-minute qualifying, 20-minute race. The details about that coming after the weekend. Just make sure, guys, if you're interested into some community party, to note it down on your calendar already this Wednesday, as we're improving to a 32.5. Track still says dry despite drizzle, and I don't think that's going to take long till the track condition changes. Starting to get certainly a bit more slippery now. Yeah, I think also with the new tire model you still use minimum pressure. I think it's all preference, since you shall not forget that having this drizzle and raindrops on the windscreen turned on will use additional resources from the GPU, and as you can imagine, all the drivers have strong enough PCs to be able to completely flawlessly display those drops of rain on their screens. So it's not no requirement, I haven't seen it anywhere yet, to have these turned on for competitions. But at some point probably the game just needs to say, okay, this is no longer a selectable option on the graphics menu, then everyone's gonna have it on per default. Obviously it adds to the realism, I get that. Papa Kuhn, hello mate, how are you? Great to see you back on the PC. So you really need to be careful with the throttle application in the front wheel drive, otherwise you're just gonna understeer off. Yes, Steven, you will be able to run everything in medium still. So, how is that car though? As it is front wheel drive, I think I'm gonna have quite some struggle with it still. But it is still like turning well. I also expect there is quite some balance of performance going on to match both these cars. I think in the Infiniti we would have been quite dead now with that slide, but obviously in a front wheel driven car, if you slide, you're just gonna hit the throttle hard and car goes straight again. So I think I would recommend that Corolla to beginners on the driving side, as of course the understeer is something to deal with, but really, like, if the car is about to spin or oversteering, you're simply just gonna hit the throttle to turn it out straight. Like, you go this, and then no, you're just gonna hit throttle. And we can speak about track limits as this lap is invalidated now, but again, like, you just go deep into the turn, and with a quick jump on the throttle, can easily pull the car out of the slide again. Meanwhile, track conditions have changed to dumb, which gives me an indication of how good these tires will still be in the future, which will be not as good as they have been right now. And I think we're gonna just check how good the soft would still work. I told you, just flat out and steer towards the direction that you want the car to go. Can catch a lot of slides, not every slide, but a lot of slides with that. And I think we're just gonna quickly go into the pits, get ourselves a fresh set of tires, the downshift protection. Let's see how long this takes. 30 seconds and 5 seconds for fuel. We're not waiting the 30 seconds for the tire change. We're gonna just straight out of the box go again. Let's have a look. Dreckig Stamp. Something to consider though is the tire wear on that car is ridiculously high on the front. So under the bridge you've already seen that there is a dry patch now from the bridge, and I think you guys have quite seen a bit from the drizzle just yet. So I'm gonna put it into the usual view. We're gonna go back later on when it rains heavier, again into the compromised view. Kartik, yes, this is the Q2 content drop early access stream. Many thanks to rFactor 2 and Studio 397 and Motorsport Games to make this possible. As an rFactor 2 streamer, to be allowed and able to give you guys the first bits and pieces. So we're gonna do one more push lap, I guess, and then probably you can put those tires into the bin, not because they are done, but simply because they won't work. It's clearly more drizzling. Rain's going heavier now. The content drop for the public happens this Monday. If you guys want to check out the new rain, the new sparks, the new sounds that are also on this car now, obviously, you can do so in the release candidate already, which can be opted in as a beta. So that's available to the public already as a release candidate. The content itself is going to drop hard this Monday. Yeah, and you see I'm losing time. I'm losing so much time already on the new tires, and I'm driving, I think line-wise I'm doing better than what I did 10 minutes ago. Undoubtedly, I guess. but I'm not having that speed anymore as the drizzle continues. There are a bit of changes to the physics as such, as the way wet weather has been handled has been changed and adapted a bit. This means, for those of you that know rFactor 2 quite well, in the bottom right here on the LCD, usually we have rain intensities and wetness amounts given in percent. That is now completely gone and is now more categorized. Is it categorized? I guess you guys know what I mean. Because, you know, I mean, yes, I see it's drizzling or it's raining, but it also says, okay, the track is not completely dry anymore, it's now a bit damp. Probably not yet ready for wets, because I would go with a wet when it says that it is wet. But I think we're gonna both together find out now, as yeah, the loss of grip is now significant on these tires. Matthias, that's great news. Gonna love it, and you will be right in time for the new content drop happening this Monday. And the new content drop will feature this Brands Hatch circuit in 2 variations, so the Brands Hatch Grand Prix layout and the Brands Hatch Indy layout. Also on the Q2 drop will be Donington Park. That will be the full layout of Donington and the Donington National, with a shortcut in the final turn straight to the finish line. And the third track will be Laguna Seca. That comes with the content drop Q2 2022. And beside that, obviously, this Corolla BTCC car, together with the Infiniti Q50, the rear-wheel driven contender compared to the Toyota Corolla. So, and now you also, I think, one does quite see it, the tarmac is darker and black. Look at the bridge, clear dry patch under the bridge there. Light rain, it says now on the weather, and that makes this soft tire probably pretty useless in the next couple of moments. There is new allocations and calculations to the wet weather lines, so yes, I believe, and maybe we're gonna find this out as well, I believe wet racing line is going to be a factor now here on rFactor 2. How many laps you would do here in the DPI? I don't know. In 24 hours? I would say 1,000. Ah, completely wrong corner. Oh my god. Do you hear that? That is a new sound feature. You finally hear the wipers. Not that it is a big change of anything, but it is a fun fact. It is a fun gimmick. And I think it's real. Sounds very real, doesn't it? I like it. Anyway, as long as the track is damp, we're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna go for the final lap before... Probably should have already taken the wets. But yeah, let's see it. So, track is now slightly wet. Jesper, I think rFactor has started enclosing in on iRacing a lot of times, or a lot of weeks and ages and months ago, but it's really making some progress now towards it, I think. First name, last name, thank you for the follow. Yeah, so 1.5 seconds gone till this point already, as we now have light rain. 2.5 seconds missing. Turn. Come on. Etienne Klaasen, thank you so much for your subscription on the YouTube channel. Appreciate it. Oh my god, 4.5 seconds. So, and you see in the dump condition, the dry tire was somewhat bearable. But now it's complete bananas. We're losing 6.5 seconds. Come on, turn, yes. 7.5. There's just no grip. There's just no grip whatsoever. I just gonna finish the lap so we got a reference. Turn. So let's go for the wet tire then. 10 seconds off we are. Oof. So to make this car even further turn, we put the brake bias even further to the rear. So right if the rear is snapping, because we can just use the throttle to pull it straight again. But you see, it is just a little bit more water now, but the time loss is exponentially high. And this is new, about a new physics part of the simulation. As soon as a certain wetness has been reached, and that is quite low. Well, the track is wet now, yes, but the soft tire turns out to be completely rubbish pretty darn fast. In the old tire model and the old physics, the soft at this stage would probably still work quite nice. But now it's completely off. So we're losing traction on the front end everywhere, kind of. And I think it's box beep 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 for the shift protection. Exactly, before that you were just driving on the dry line and you could have probably still been quite quick with a dry tire in those conditions. Let's see what the rain tire is able to do now. Ooh, too hot into the pits. Oh, just fine. So this time I'm gonna take the tires. Ah, the silence. Yes, but yes, I think it makes sense to now avoid rubbered lines in the driving lines. We will find out now. Oh, probably I can't actually compare the lap times with within each other, but just about the driving, you know. Yeah, I think one could hear the pneumatic gearbox and the audio already before, but with the sound update now, it's even more obvious and more tremendous, let's say, on the audio. Well, I guess for the HUD you can use a lot of workshop things. But I hear ya. So, we not just got light rain anymore, now it's concrete rain. And we will find out, loads of understeer there on the actual racing line. We're now going to find out how the wet tire does. So the last lap time that we did was, I think, a 41.6 or so. So let's see whether we're able to beat it. And you've seen it, the wet tire, from nearly being still able to produce 32s, 33s, it took him 2 or 3 laps where they lost 10 seconds. So there will be a certain point of no return, let's say. When you miss that to go to pit road, you are in trouble. You are in big trouble. There is thunderstorms, I think, in intensity, so it's not the highest level of rain I've put. Oh, the car very slippery there over the racing line. Well, that will be interesting. There is it feels certainly more slippery on the actual racing line right now. It's fun though. Mitchie, take the wet line. Well, probably we can't set a 42 because simply there's too much water. Standing puddles everywhere. And just too much of water around. Yeah, let's see what they're gonna do with the content. I think most likely we're gonna find some competition on the competition system with it. I think that would be one to look for, because I believe BTCC car racing will be interesting. In hindsight though, despite we don't get the 42 in, I'm pretty sure that the dry tire would have been 50s or even slower. Let's see if we can beat our last lap time by driving around on different patches now. Just slipped onto that dry line, so we're gonna stay a bit further to the outside, gonna do a bit more rotation up front and try to pull the car straight. Oof. Power! Performance, let's go. There's also some updates to the way the track dries up if it stops raining, let's say, which is quite different to the way it has been before. Before, you simply could only drive the track dry if you drove over the patches with the cars. Now the entire track is also drying up in combination down to humidity, wind speed, air temperature, sun or no sun. So it's not only going to be the cars that are dragging the water away from the circuit, it's also going to be the environmental conditions, which is really nice. That is a really big change towards racing, because let's face it, you could have had a bit of rain in the beginning of a 24-hour race, and probably by the end of that 24-hour race you would have still had complete wet tarmac in areas where cars don't move over the track, and that should be gone for good now. We will find out as soon as we head the races where rain pours down and stops pouring down. And now obviously we're going to see the additional water puddles here on the track as well. You see the track's not only shiny and reflecting, which is a clear indication that there is a shed load of water on it. There is also puddles building, like here on the inside. There is a big puddle. And they should be, I'm not sure if they are physically also affecting the car? I think they should. And as far as I understand it, when you drive through them, there is more water sparkling away from the tires too. Oh, 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 bonk. Come on. So good. Is the wet road physics only on the wet tires, or will it affect all cars? That will affect all cars. Obviously we're enjoying classic British weather, isn't it? Did I say classic? I mean classic. Excuse me. Something else that is new, and I will show you as soon as there is even more water on the track. I can show you here already. Ah, yeah, now one sees it. Guys, have a close look in front of our headlights here. You see the water drizzling into the puddle, and you see each and other water drop. That's great, isn't it? It's a great feature, like, and it was still in the very much in the beginning, but it's going to be a big improvement in the future. I think that's for sure. As we got 20 minutes to go, the water on the road now is extremely wet, which means, well, I don't need to explain what that means. Which means we're gonna have some good fun driving around. So guys, if you appreciate the content, if you want to see more of rFactor 2's new content drop, and if you want to see more of rFactor 2 content in general, then please make sure you follow up on Twitch. Please make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel. Make the community grow. Chaos Tab, no one cannot yet buy the content. The content will drop on Monday, and it will have the following prices. Each car solidly will cost €4.99 on the workshop, and you can buy the BTCC car bundle, where you get both cars for €8.99. So I think you're roughly saving €1 on that one. And then you can get the full BTCC content bundle, which also includes not only both cars, but also Brands Hatch Indy, Donington and Donington National for €24.99. And if you appreciate the full content drop, then you will go for the best price service ratio, which will be the Q2 drop bundle, including not only the BTCC complete bundle, but also Laguna Seca for €31.99 on the workshop. So, and I am trying to desperately, track limits, Hals, Maul. With the 2022 specs, you mean on the British touring cars? No. For this one, the 2022 specs mean, let's see if we can see it on the dash. Unlucky. 0 seconds of push to pass remaining. Probably I'm gonna report some bug here. That needs to probably still be fixed. There is obviously some push to pass on these cars, as per the 2022 regulations. So that will be some factor. For the rain conditions, I certainly encourage to drive the Corolla, as the Corolla with the front wheel drive will certainly be easier to drive around than the rear-wheel drive Infiniti car. And we're also going to have a look at the Infiniti car around Donington in roughly 15 minutes. For the time being, we will enjoy a little bit more of this tortuous turn 1 around Brands Hatch. Whoops. Or you guys fancy of a 15-minute race against AI? What do you think? Can do that too. It's probably a better call, isn't it? So then, I will get some AI on the track. And in the meanwhile, well, first of all, I'm gonna save the setup, of course, because it makes sense that to be saved. One. And I will get some AI in, and in the meanwhile, you guys, again, gonna check out what is new on the rFactor 2 release candidate, what becomes to be the stable build this Monday. So for those of you that joined late, you won't miss anything, as we are looking again at what the new features to the overall simulation are. So that is the new features that are coming to be the next stable build here on the rFactor 2 simulation, as we are joining back into the server now to have a little bit of a race, to have a little bit of fun against AI. We're gonna see how good they are. I don't want to, well, I want to mention that the content is still in a pre-release condition, which means the AI may or may not 100% yet be perfect just yet. We're gonna find out. This is qualifying. I want to go straight into next session for a 15-minute race, so we can just round it up. Warm up, next session. There we go, 15-minute race. We're just gonna load the setup that we've just quickly built together. Tires are soft. No. Wait. Exit to monitor. Let me see, session controls. Start weekend. Let me try to put myself into that last position at least. Next session. Next session. Warm up. Let's see if it. Ah, no chat box. No. I should have said that I wanted to start dead last. And it's black only. Shit. Need disqualification. Maybe I'm gonna start that last. That would be amazing. Session controls. Next session. Leads. If. Well then. So half of the AIs have taken soft, the other half has taken wet, and that confirms what was said in the patch notes. Let's say that the AI is smart enough on picking different tire compounds according to the conditions. We just let some of them go. We just want to have a little bit of a battle, don't we? So all around those Corollas, whoops. Hey there, Theo Practice. So the track is still slightly wet, as you can see. What a dive. Okay, so 110% AI, not strong enough yet. Oh, someone went off there in the back. Ooh. Did he jump out of the way? Or did he try to make a move on the car ahead of me? Either way, good reactions of that yellow one. Doing the same mistake again. If... Whoop. Yeah, I see this going to be a fun series on the competition system, and I could think this will be popular, as I think it's fun. So guys, and on that note, on Wednesday we're gonna do some community racing together, 30 minutes practice, 5 minutes qualifying and a 20-minute race with the BTCC cars around Brands Hatch, around Donington and Laguna Seca. Come on, power. Ah, what about my push to pass now? Copy cows, enjoy. Unlucky, no push to pass. But a little bit of slipstream it seems. Yeah, we've seen that the outside line isn't quite... And now I got 15 seconds remaining. Minus 15 seconds? Ah, so there was push to pass enabled, that's why I had... that wasn't slipstream, that was push to pass. Just the timer seems to be wrong. Unlucky. So, 10 minutes to go. The shift protection. Quite a bit stuck now. Oh. Sorry about that. So the track conditions are still damp. We started with slightly wet. And you see now, there is no wet patches on the exits. Of course there's a dry line that you can see, which is the reason what just killed me. Because this is where a lot of the cars are driving, but also beside that, the track's going to dry up completely. Just need to be smart when driving, not on it. BS powers, I don't know. We need to see what kind of setup or what kind of regulations there will be put if they are running it on a competition system. I guess they will. Would make the most sense, of course. Come on. We're on the wet part. Turn, turn. No, I've overdone it. And these cars actually racing against AI makes sense. Even content-wise, it doesn't look too bad. Oh, someone's going to box. Ah, yeah, he had wet tires on, so he's now boxing for the dries. And then we obviously going to have a look what the rear wheel drive car is like around Donington. And I gotta say, I'm looking forward to the rear wheel drive car. That will probably feel more like Michi home. They do have push to pass BS powers. So 6.5 minutes to go. Come on, P5. Oh, the wet part. No. I'm not allowed to hit the wet part. So you see a clear difference between old type of railroad drying and the new type of railroad drying. You see clearly that there is a dry racing line, but what you also see clearly is that beside that dry racing line, it's not completely wet anymore. It is damp, but it's not completely wet, so if you touch it, you're not straight dye. These guys have gotten to get pacey, huh? Maybe 110 on the AI multiplier a bit too much. Although I think I've been twice on the wet stuff, which I shouldn't have done. Minutes to go. We are pushing. A little bit of rabbinish racing. That was a deliberate dive, unlucky. So, but you can already see that this this racing line is going to get drier and drier and wider. Especially in this corner, it is extremely wide already on the right apex, and here on the exit it's a little bit wider as well already. So this is thanks to the more sophisticated drying. You also see here on the inside, oh, you can't see that because on a different camera, but here on the inside, on the approach to the uphill right-hander, you see on the way up to the hill that on the inside, where usually no car drives at all, a little bit more dry conditions, a little bit less dark tarmac compared to the other parts. Same here on the exit. I'm gonna go back into the other view to point that out a bit. There is a bit more dry already. Here, this part is a little bit drier. This entry part is extremely wide. I can put the play the pause button on. I kind of forgot. We'll do that. Bear with me. Come on. So, here, this area, it's a lot more drier than here in between. So you see that's overall drying up, not just on the racing line specifically. Just great to see. So, 2 minutes to go. We won't win this one, but we won't be dead last either. In fact, we're just trying to go for a fastest lap. There will be 2 more laps to go. Tragically, we got fuel for 17 more laps. I don't have, well, okay, for this one I got the Ultra preset for the graphics, but it will also be seen for lower graphic settings. Ooh. Push Michi, defend that position hard. I wouldn't necessarily say that they have less struggles, but I think they have a little less danger perhaps, yeah. So what are you guys more interested? More into that Corolla, the front wheel drive car, or more into the into the rear-wheel driven Infiniti. So who has fastest lap of the race? Not us. .9. Yes, cows, I'd say so. Want more Brands Hatch. Oh, wet patch. But I want to go Donington now. I'm no big fan of Brands Hatch. Ay. Probably just not driven the track enough to feel 100% aligned with it. Yes, and now we're going to jump into the rear drive car. The content will be dropped this Monday. As we're coming towards the start-finish line. Amazing. Fun race. Fun car. So yeah, that is it here for the Brands Hatch and the Corolla. We're obviously going to have a little bit of a look for replay footage a bit, as interestingly that we just went wide. So a little bit more action later on. So what do I think about this car? I think for people that just go into sim racing and people that just want to have fun and start to feel and learn about sim racing, I think this is a great car. For being a front wheeler, it still turns particularly nice. I may want to admit that I have probably not quite figured out how it is to be driven. Having said that, I think one really needs to try and carry rotation on the brakes around it. And then be really gently with the throttle, because if you get into wheel spin with a front wheel driven car, you're just gonna understeer off. Aren't the curbs more slippery in the wet in real life, like in Formula cars? You usually spin if you go over them. I don't want to say those are not slippery, because in a front wheel driven car in the wet, you do not necessarily notice, or you do not necessarily feel that or see that the curb is slippery. It's just like you get a little bit more wheel spin when going over them. Perhaps we're gonna see a different different situation in the rearwards driven car, and we're gonna set up a bit better for that. So we're gonna do our practice. We're gonna do a 30-minute race, and we're gonna start the race on the naturally progressed rear row. So we're gonna probably start with the wets. Let's see, we're also going to start from the very back. So that's what we're going to do now for the Infiniti, for the rear wheel driven car. So yes, I know that F1 is in Miami right now, but we are now here on rFactor 2. and we are enjoying the content drop early access. So that means we're gonna jump out of a Brands Hatch and gonna see what Donington got ready for us. So let me quickly set this up. Brands Hatch, Donington Park, the Grand Prix circuit. We select the other car, which is the Infiniti Q50. And on the session settings, we go with just 45 minutes of practice time. And some light rain. Practice time being set to 40 minutes, that should be enough. Qualifying, we don't need it. The race time shall be 30 minutes, and it should be all the way scripted, naturally progressing, default normal, no rain on the weather. Grid position, I need to turn off qualifying. You can set the grid position, that's fine. Okay, I think we should be set. So let's have a look what the Infiniti car, the rear-wheel driven BTCC car, got up for us. As we're joining back onto the server. So, and if you guys appreciate the content tonight, if you appreciate the early access stream about the new content on rFactor 2, then please show your dedication with a like on the video, with a subscription on the YouTube channel, and a follow up on Twitch. Obviously, if you are a fan of us, then please also consider becoming a subscriber on Twitch and a member on the channel, on the YouTube channel, and of course any other support as a donation or so is greatly appreciated. As we now go into the rear wheel driven car, I'm looking forward to drive that. I'm just a rear wheel driven guy, that's 100% sure, and I think we're gonna see a significant difference compared to the other car, and I may hopefully not just be disappointed, but I think yes, here it's the other way around. Here the front is more stiff than the rear, and that is just how it should be. Anyway, we're gonna set a little bit of rake again, and any other thing is just, I think, as it was before. Turbo George, thank you so much for your follow and the support. Whoops, here we need a different seating position. Seat. Noch ein Stück, noch ein Stück, noch ein Stück, noch ein Stück. That should be enough. Not wipers. Also, common mistake. Car specific FFB mold. Put it down, 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 down. 50% is fairly enough. Here we go. Onto a green track. Here at Donington. 60 kph speed limit. Let's see what Donington is like. A rear wheel driven car, amazing. Hoppa. Already straight into the off-track area. I need more front end brake, like way more. Car is extremely rotating on the rear. That was a cut track, interesting. I don't think that this car is necessarily easy to drive in the wet conditions, but we're going to find out as the first cars are already finishing their laps. I forgot something. Michi, why? Qualifying. There we go. First and second gear are very short. This is an extremely tricky corner. Like those two hairpins are extremely tricky. So I think there's loads of time to gain for us. I've also flat spotted the tire already. Unlucky. And that rear needs to be fixed. I think I'm not racing the softest rear anti-roll bar, do I? I think I haven't said that. Which will most likely be the biggest mistake. Because that rear end is really, really, really stiff. In fact, it is too unpredictable stiff. Like I don't have the confidence in the rear that I probably would need. Also guys, there is more streaming happening today. Attraction GG turns 1 year old, so today we got the birthday extravaganza on the Wreckfest almost set simulation. On the Wreckfest game, streamers are gonna have some racing all together. That starts at 10 PM Central European Summertime. So in roughly 1 hour from now. If you're interested in that, please make sure you follow up. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel that you don't miss out on it. And I will not miss out on pit road now. As I want to put that rear anti-roll bar in. Or better say out. Great. Spring rate a bit softer, that should help a lot on the rear end rotation, on the rear end stability. So all these tracks, of course, laser scanned. That's been the new standard on rFactor 2. And that's really, really great stuff. Ah, look at that rear end. A lot better. Car obviously still a bit iffy. Well, that is tricky. So compared to the Corolla, this car is really tricky to drive. As it really likes to rotate and snap on you on the back. That's alright. So no, those are no drift cars. At least they are not meant to be drift cars. lovely left-hand side drive. I finally feel home again. In lovely exit. Purple for the moment. So what do you guys think? Corolla front-wheel driven or rather the Infiniti rear-wheel driven? What's your preference? Oh no, already rain. So we need to make this lap count. Ah, it was a track cut. Unlucky. Well, from our experience, we get one more lap at least. Or should get. F. No traffic. Why Corolla though? Okay, interesting AI. That's gonna be right in my way. Come on, turn. Yeah, but we don't want to have drifting cars, we want to have fast cars. And I think that especially on the exits, this rear-wheel driven car is loads better. F, final sector was missing it. And I'm afraid now it's too drizzly. Triple 2000 and Schlabon, hello. How are you guys doing? I missed that apex. Hey George. Welcome. Sadly we don't have any live timing for this one. What do you mean with a controller wheel hooked up? I'm incredibly bad in this last sector. Especially this final turn, I don't get it right. As Mr. Hello, welcome. So maybe the final chance to set out was a good lap time. Maybe we for once don't miss that apex down the hill here. Amazing, we got it. Hey there, Owen. How are you doing? Classic British weather. Oh, the drift. Looks super nice, but it's super slow. And I missed it. What the heck? Wrong gear. So let's say what the weather says. As I'm gonna give you guys the other view again. So track's still damp, and as soon as it turns to be wet, you're gonna lose heavy performance. Solrock, you cannot download the overlay. That is... Wait, SimHub overlay? There is no SimHub overlay. The overlays that you are seeing right now is the rFactor 2 broadcaster tool. So it's getting significantly wet now. This is where I lost half a second to the AI. The chicken! And now it's too late. See how long we can drive with those tires though. Apart from the fact that they are already quite flat spotted. Thank you for your subscription, M. Really much appreciate that. Hey there, Luik. Aye. No creepy. I gotta say, I love those rFactor 2 3D laser scan tracks. You feel every bump, you feel and see every wave, every glitch in the tarmac. Hey there, Pete. It just feels so real when you go over those tarmacs and over all this. So, gonna box for fresh softs. Hey Leonard. Yes, BS powers, no more percentages. That's all part of the new release candidate. Oh, box. We're gonna make that a bit stiffer. Take one more click of rear wing. I'm gonna reduce that because it felt too hard. And we're gonna go out. Now I wanted to go out with the softs again. That's I want to lengthen further. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, this final turn is extremely hard. It is extremely technical, that's for sure. Well, we're gonna race Formula Pro around here, believe it or not. It's going to be fun. So I'm still out with the... Oh, yeah, with the wrong tire, I wanted to say. Let's see if it becomes a race tire when it heats up, because no tire warmers here on the British touring cars. Oh, great fun. Probably don't want to drift the car as much as I do it. Well, that's good fun indeed. Hey Seraphim. Why did I call you Seraphim instead of Mario? What's wrong with my mind? Thank you so much for joining though. Yep, those cars do have special wet tires which we need #soon. As that soft one is now not gripping after all. Everything gaming, absolutely, that's why we put some rain down here, because it's classic British weather. I've locked up the front again. Okay, how much brake bias I need to put towards the rear? Oof. Yeah, I think... Yeah, slightly wet. And we're here out with the dry. Yeah, that will be a proper fight. Till box. Sorry. Yeah, PS Powers, that is a good call. Pete, nothing is wrong with your British weather, it's just very iconic. Sebastian, why can you not do that? Is it because you need a credit card? Well, if you click down the link tree, down in the video description, there is a direct link to the Streamlabs donation link, so you can try your luck there, if you wish to. Shit is looking for. Copy. Shit it is. Okay, give me one more try. Well, is that sun and rain? Understood. April weather, huh? Aye, it is pointless. Let's go out with a wet tire to see how that behaves for the remaining 18 minutes. Then we go into a 30-minute race. And let's see what happens there then, as we should start on a wet track that then turns out to be dry, so that will be horrendously fun. So let's see how that wet tire then performs. Nearly bonked. Are those guys on the heavy wets or on the wet tires as well? Or are they still on the dries? Oh, what a dive, and he actually makes it stick. Hey, something is not right with the brakes of these guys. Like, first I can't stop the car, then I lock up like a madman. And then I don't have the grip. See my point? I need to check this. In the Corolla I was somewhat fine, but I fear in this car I'm gonna get humiliated by the AI. Nah, I'm not missing a weather forecast. With a live weather plugin, you just know what's going to happen when you look out on the radar. Those cars obviously do not have any traction control or ABS, which makes them incredibly difficult to drive. Mr. Kid, I should be fine on it. I made it work to put my private PC into a server and actually access it via the matchmaker. So I should be sorted this time with a stronger machine. Yeah, but like, how further do I, like, I'm on the minimum right now, I think. Someone needs to change that wiper blade, as it's not wiping good enough. Oh, 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 oh. With a Corolla I could have catch it. Well, VS Powers, you need to browse through the Studio 397 forums. There will be links to a plugin that you can put into the server. All that you need to tell the plugin is which weather station to grab the weather from, and when it rains there in real life, it starts raining on the server. So you can actually use your own weather forecast. Yes, Sharon, on Wednesday there is a little community party for the new BTCC content drop. We're going to have 3 races on Wednesday. We're going to either start 19:30 or 8 PM Central European summertime with a 30-minute free practice, a 5-minute qualifying and a 20-minute race. around Brands Hatch, Donington Park and Laguna Seca, all in the British touring cars. I'm not going to survive that race for really long, to be honest. I'm sliding the rear too much. Tires just get way too hot, even for wet tires. That's fair. We can use yours as a practice server if you wish to. Because obviously I won't run my private machine when not home. So guys, 12 minutes till we do a race against those AI guys. And I will be probably quite slow. But that race will be 30 minutes long. We'll have a different mix of conditions again. Just to celebrate the use of Donington. Too much power on this rear axis. But whilst the the Corolla was nice to drive, this one is fun to drive. As it's extremely challenging with its floating rear. No chance to keep this. I need to work a little bit more towards rear instability. So what we're gonna do then is reduce the ride height, soften the rear, stiffen the front. Oof. Put a bit steeper anti-roll bar. I don't want to go up another click on these coast power. More preload, that should actually help it quite a bit already. So 10 more minutes. Everything gaming, I'm in the British touring car in the Infiniti Q50. So guys, I really appreciate your time. If you appreciate the content, then please make sure to follow on Twitch, subscribe on the YouTube channel. As I want to say thank you again to Motorsport Games Studio 397 for allowing the early access and the content drop. Yeah, higher preload will be the last thing I'm going to do. First of all, I'm gonna put brake bias all the way to the rear. And bonk, sorry about that. Comps, thank you so much for your follow on Twitch. Much appreciated. And yeah, if you guys are interested in more madness tonight, then join the Traction GG birthday extravaganza, as we are going to have some fun on Wreckfest all together. That happens in roughly, half an hour. So you know what, guys? Whatever I have on the set now, I don't care. We need to get into the next session, into the race, so that we can finish everything in time. Sebastian, for me, rFactor 2 is indeed better. Mi stupido. Probably not. I wanted to race on the dry on the dry stuff, on the wet stuff, not on the dry. If what? I gonna quickly just go session settings, race, put real road weather 50%, normal, and then we're gonna get racing. You were hoping for Truxton, means it's a BTC DLC instead of Laguna. Well, I gotta say, there is an option on the car for a Truxton tire selection, whatever thing. So there might be chance that Truxton might be on the list for the future. Abin Jbin, yes, I do have Laguna Seca, but I'm not going to take it onto the program for today. I'm going to take it onto a program for another stream. So quickly getting back into Donington Park, just quickly need to think about resetting some stuff. Load, please. And then we're gonna get racy here with the BTCC car around Donington Park. Yep, and red tires, compressors. Is 90% we have. Oh. Then I went a few clicks there, a few clicks there. I think a few clicks there. We keep this here. We're gonna just detach it. Gonna remove the toe in a bit. And here we went minimum. So straight to race we go. Next session. Quack, 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 quack. Wrong session. Next session. Let's go into the race. Wet tires on. We have very wet weather conditions. Wipers. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't see shit. And I wonder why I don't get off the line. Because I have the soft tire attached. Sorry. Driver's box. I guess I will be a bit late to the other one, or I just end this early. Could be a selection too. I forgot them wipers. Bye. So 20 seconds. What the fuck? So where to turn in? Like there? Yeah. Ooh. No, don't overtake me. And he will overtake me. If I like trains, but not in racing situations. Then I quite dislike them. So it's still pretty wet, still too much spray. No conditions for dry tires just yet. Uh, 110% AI. I should have kept it on second. So P16 it is. Oh, broke myself heavily. Come on, come on, come on. Oh. Hey there, Lopi. It is a DLC, so the cars will cost $4.99 each, and the tracks will cost $8.99 each. There is a BTCC car bundle, so you get both cars for $8.99. Then there is a BTCC overall bundle. Ooh, sorry. There you get Donington Park and Brands Hatch, as well as both cars for a package price of $21.99. That kinda saves you 10%. And then if you go for the full moves, Q1 drop includes Laguna Seca for $31.99. Sorry, I think the BTCC bundle with cars and tracks is $24.99. Okay, so lap time's getting quicker now. 23 minutes to go. We're on our way to the front. That jumbo. See what the track condition says. Just wet anymore. Ah, but guys, it looks so good, doesn't it? Like, I want to give you the screen view again. Bonk. Ah, no power. Yeah, but you don't have laser scan brands hatch in Laguna Seca, do you? I can encourage you to jump on the YouTube channel and watch this stream as a video on demand. To watch the stuff back. Oh, sorry. So we're indeed a bit better on the rear tires than in the testing, which is good. Although one gotta say, it was completely wet now. And I think the wetness is now slowly but surely disappearing. Obviously still spray and stuff, but it's not as horrendous as it was before. And I need to try cooling them tires a bit. Watch that green car to go for a dive. Oh. And I went for a dive too, sorry about that. $20 minutes to go. P10. Some skill remaining, I see. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, Lopi. That is fine, I guess. Shit, 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 shit. That was complete. Ow. Brain fail. No, all that way to do again. I drive a Mercedes CLA 200. So for the overall action, I guess this view is much better. So I hope in that race I'm really able to showcase you how good the drying of the track overall is happening. Of course, due to the number of cars and everything, it happens in the majority on the racing line and stuff. But it will be obviously more dry all around. Papa Kuhn, Miami looking goody. Oh, the defensive line is looking goody too for him. How are you, Papa Kuhn? You gonna get these new cars? Turn, 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 turn. Throttle, let's go, push, push. Need to make a move into turn 1. Oh, he's going defensive again, does he? Yes, this is Q2 content, drop content. Tight. So, a clear, dry racing line here to see now. And I think we're now getting really, really quick. But I think it's not yet time to swap the tires. And then we also need to see whether the tire swap would make even sense, as we lose like 30 seconds. Justin Reynolds, thank you so much for your follow here on the Twitch channel. Sorry, there's a subscription on YouTube, excuse me, with a cut. Yeah, Papa Kuhn, I seen. You have been off the PC lately, I know. You gonna enjoy the breakfast stream together with us? 15 minutes to go. I'm tempted to put the dry tires on, but... Ah, wrong gear. I just think it may be too risky. Because if you're not here on that dry line, then it's insta-rip. Like this. Bro is super fast now already. Be ready. We need to be ready. If they gonna swap, we need to swap it too. Oscar Pastor, thank you very much for the follow indeed, and welcome to the stream. Welcome to the early access stream of the Q2 content drop here on rFactor 2 with the BTCC content. The Giant, it is broke. So the track now says slightly wet. Go for it or go not for it. The thing is I can't outbrake people. So I'll probably just try to cool them tires. Yeah, cool them tires and then spin them. Yeah, it's no drift car of course, but due to the conditions it drifts quite easily. And then in the dry it kinda likes drifting to a certain extent. But it's extremely fun. It's extremely fun. Lopi, no, you're not the only one not watching F1. I'm not even watching WEC right now. Because I'm doing this. I'm a net. Whoa. Where do you want to go? He went for a dive or what? I don't know how hard it is. I've never done it, but like this race is not too bad, is it? I mean, yeah, it could be better and stuff, but I don't think it's that bad. Them tires, Michi. 11 minutes to go. But I think I'm gonna end it as soon as I've reached P1. AI limiter is low, I think. It's 2 or 3%, so they don't have too much variation, I think. No, I'll wait on the hairpin. Oh, bonk, sorry. Scheiße. No. Come on. Get out of that grass. Well, now we're gonna need to do the 10 minutes. Unlucky. Oh, some of these guys are boxing. Kids. Oh. We are pushing, we are sliding, we are over-exaggerating. Oof. Nine minutes to go. Who is that? Those wet tires are now losing performance, or have I just over pushed them? Sebastian Patchon TV, thank you so much for your follow on the Twitch channel. Okay, 8 minutes to go. Let's push. Those guys there at the back, I think they are too far behind. But let's see what lap times they do. We just try to stay on the dry stuff now. We go wide already again. Esputra GP, thank you for joining. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed the early access stream here for the BTCC content on rFactor 2. There will be most likely another video about all the new content, all the new features and my thoughts on it on Sunday. 20-25 minutes perhaps. No driving there necessarily, but a lot of explaining and talking around this new content. And then I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and we'll come back for more streaming content here on the channel, whether that is rFactor 2 or something different. In 10 minutes we are live on Wreckfest with the Traction GG guys, the Traction GG birthday extravaganza. Some fun around driving cars and enjoying oneself is going to be the plan on that one. And then on Saturday and Sunday, the VCO Infiniti 24 hours, 24 races on iRacing. We're going to race 6 of them across those 24 hours. Yeah, at least I didn't run into the gravel trap, good job. And I hope to see you guys there on that stream too, as we have 5 minutes to go. Can we make it to the top? Not like this though. What did they run? 45s? Ah, they are too far back, far away, I think. So there is different bundles. I'm gonna explain again. One car costs $4.99. One track costs $8.99. Both cars together in a bundle will cost $8.99 as well. So you kind of save €1 compared to buying them solely. Beyond that, there will be. Let me see. So that is the double cars pack. Oh, brake. Yes. Just made it. That double cars pack will be $8.99 and feature both cars. The BTCC bundle will be $24.99 and will feature Brands Hatch and Donington Park and both cars. And the Q2 content drop bundle will also feature Laguna Seca, and that will be $31.99. So that's that on the pricing. Let's push it. Yeah, but they are too far back, as I already mentioned. And I'm more sideways than anything, so I'm really killing them rears now. That was a good call not to box. I mean, those other cars are 5-6 seconds quicker, but it's just not long enough to go in the race. It is quite far to... That's gonna do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the 2 content drop. We're just taking the national line for once. That is going here and then there, and I'm gonna see those anti-cuts being a good thing, and then we just go and park it into... Ooh, unlucky. Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. That's gonna do it for the early access stream here in the rFactor 2 Q2 content drop with the BTCC cars on the BTCC tracks. Guys, that was good fun. That was I really appreciate rFactor 2's and MSG's allowance to do this, and I hope you have enjoyed this. Please stick with us as we're going to be live in a couple of moments around the Wreckfest extravaganza here on the Traction GG channel. I see the guys are already ready, so I'm gonna jump in. I hope you guys are gonna be with me, and other than that, I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like the video, please follow up on Twitch, please subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. I thank you so much for your company tonight. I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream and know a little bit more about what you want to get on, what you want to buy or maybe not buy from the rFactor 2 Q2 content drop. I encourage you to get the content because I think it's going to be a public and also not public, popular and a good series on the rFactor 2 competition system, as I really expect it will be brought out there. Guys, thank you for your time. Have a good one, everyone, and see you in a couple of minutes on the next stream. See you. Bye-bye.